Welcome back to Tea Time Disc Golf. Steve Braud, and we're here at the Blockhouse. I've got a guest with me who is the first time to Tea Time, is Andrew Fish. Andrew, welcome.
Hey everybody, thanks Steve. I'm glad to be here.
And so we've got some exciting golf. We're at the Blockhouse Disc Golf and Country Club, one of the favorite places to be in Virginia this time of year. The Memorial Day event has been a staple for a long time.
Absolutely. This is just a full week of disc golf paradise. They've got 4 C tiers during the week. They've got the AM Championship the weekend before, and then this is 2 days in May, the capstone to it all.
Yeah, this is not one to miss. This is 13 years in a row for me coming down, and gosh, there's a lot of familiar faces year in and year out that are coming down here. But yeah, we're going to see some very exciting golf here. We have Chris Dickerson, Andrew Fish, Michael Johansen,
and Eric Smith.
So guys that have played a lot of golf together, I think, too.
Definitely. I know MJ and Chris spent a lot of time on the lead card at an A tier the week before this. Eric and I play almost every tournament together in the Mid-Atlantic.
Yep. Yeah, good to see Eric on the card here. This should be exciting. So we've got, we're going to go ahead and start off on hole 1. This is the dark side, which is a very fun 18-hole course, but very, very tight, and you just got to throw it up the gut.
Right. Hole 1 is a very straight shot over a valley with rough on both sides. It looks straight off the tee, but you want to have a little shape to your shot to make the fairway as wide as possible.
Wow, yeah, you almost got the cameraman there.
That's what I was aiming for.
Yeah, 281 feet. If you can just keep it dead straight, good ace run actually to start off the tournament if you can get something away.
Definitely. MJ goes his signature blend ESP Comet and puts it right there.
So we have 3 Discraft players, and we have Chris playing as a Team Prodigy. So we'll see a lot of Comets. We're going to see a lot of straight mid-ranges out of these guys, which is going to be fun.
Definitely. There was a running joke throughout the round of how many Comets we could all combine to throw. But Chris is holding it down for Prodigy. He's got 15 wins on the year already.
Yeah, Chris is playing some just spectacular golf. He really can do no wrong right now. Except off the first tee.
Right. He should be in a spot where he can scramble for his par.
Yeah. All right. If you get off the fairway a little bit, it gets tough to get up to this basket too. I mean, it's not easy.
Right. It's sneaky uphill if you get trapped in that valley. Chris with a little PA4. He should be right there. In truth, that comeback putt never felt comfortable. Just never got a great stance on it.
What are you putting with?
So this is a soft X Roach. I've been working on it for about a year. So it's pretty beat in.
I know a lot of people that are changing to the Roach right now. It's a pretty nice putter. The soft one, at least. But everyone's pretty much wrapping up there. Chris got that to stay in. And we're going to go ahead and move on to hole 2. Hole 2 is 389 feet. It's not easy.
It's definitely not. There's 2 routes you can take. You kind of have to choose a side of this middle tree we're passing and get as far up the fairway as you can without getting off of it.
Yeah. You want something dead straight if you're taking up the middle, because if you do go left or right, it becomes extremely tricky for the upshot. Now, unless you can throw a quarter of a mile. I know Nick Economos aced it.
Just an incredible shot. Like,
yeah.
Come look at this fairway and think about having it chain high when you get there.
Yep, it's next to impossible to do. So,
that'll be fun.
I love the confidence, but that is not going to be fine.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. Yep. Gosh, it's easy to do.
It really is.
Yeah.
There's an uphill start, And sometimes it's just hard to get the right nose angle.
Right. You want to throw it hard enough to have that flexing right through that gap. That way you can get max distance out of it. But if you leak it a little bit to the left, you're in so much trouble.
Yeah. Chris is going to take a fun route here. He's going to go right of the center tree with a forehand roller.
I love it. I love the play.
It's aggressive in the sense that you need a precise angle, but you got a vertical disc going through all these vertical stumps, trees.
Just an incredible shot.
So he's up near circle 2.
Yeah, that is incredible. I mean, this is where I'm more comfortable with throwing the flick roller, is when I'm in trouble like you are here, and you have to force yourself to get out.
Right. It's option B, not what I want to do off the tee.
Right. Yeah, but that's where I have the most success, is when I'm getting out of trouble throwing that shot.
Absolutely.
Not off the tee. I think that most people can agree with that. Here's MJ pulling out a flick, too. So this is what the dark side forces you to do. It forces you to throw shots that you're not necessarily used to throwing all the time.
Right. So he gets back to the fairway, makes some progress.
Yeah, Eric with a fantastic shot. Look at this thing coming back.
He'll make it inside the circle with a look at 3.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, he's right there. So yeah, MJ not done with the finesse shots here. You know, he's pulling out the banger to get something to just get up to the basket, and that was a really good up.
He's making a low-stress par for himself, which is useful.
Yeah, it's easy to cook past this basket, and then when you do, it's downhill past the basket. So you can end up pretty far away if you do go deep.
Definitely. That's one thing I love about this course is something might look flat, but it's got a subtle elevation that you don't notice until you've made the mistake.
Yep, and then oops, you're 35 away behind a tree.
Right.
Chris. Oh, my gosh. That would have been a fantastic two.
Absolutely.
So the dark side is pretty notorious for being a difficult par 3 course, because there's not, you don't have the high par when it comes to the dark side. It's a lot of difficult par 3s.
It's going to be called a par 56. Holes 2 and 7 are par 4s.
Yeah. Yep. And
realistically, anything under 50 means that you're doing a lot of things right consistently.
Yeah.
So Chris and Eric get their 3s, MJ and Fish with 4.
So we will move on to hole number 3. And hole number 3 is 252 feet. It's subtly uphill once again, with a mound in the middle of this hole that you kind of have to bypass all of the trees in the way. But to be honest with you, I expect lead card for there to be at least 3 out of 4 birdies on this hole.
It's easy to say that.
Right.
And then things can go wrong in a hurry if you're off by just a little bit.
Sure. I put a lot of confidence in you guys. All right. That's not one.
So Eric knew he missed that.
Yeah.
And it can be a tough up and down if you don't get very far or off the fairway. Nice rip.
And Chris with a fantastic shot. Just hit that last one. It's going to leave him about 35 out, somewhere in that range, just outside of the circle.
Right, but uphill as well. It's going to make it play much further.
And there's MJ missing everything and scooting up there for a putt. He's going to be right at about circle's edge, just inside circle.
But that left side can be very hairy.
Right. Yeah, boy, you missed everything in your CTP. Yeah.
That one is getting away with a little bit, it felt like.
Yeah. And Eric manufacturing a shot here. All right, getting it up there. He'll have a putt to save the par.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow. Yep.
Look at that.
Yeah, fantastic putt.
That's what makes Chris very dangerous. Even when he doesn't get all the way to the basket, he's a fantastic putter.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking get over that and then it not go in, but okay.
Yeah.
We'll just let MJ do the commentary.
Yeah, MJ's funny. He does. He's used to making that putt, so he needs to get himself on track. Eric with a great par save after getting that flick up there. Is that a special edition Comet, or is that just an ESP Comet?
It's just a stock run ESP.
Okay, all right. Yeah, they are cool. I carried a Comet in my bag for as long as I can remember, so I was a big fan for sure. So we're going to move on to hole number 4, 341 feet.
You've got a pinch point off the tee. It's slightly uphill, and then it's going to open up. This is about the most open the course gets until the back 9. And then the basket's going to be placed on a mound that plays very fast if you aren't controlling your speed well.
If you're not inside the circle, if you're short of the basket and not inside the circle, you better be laying up.
Right. It's not the coward's way out on a hole like this.
Yeah. And it's messy in there where Chris is.
Right. The hollies hang real low, and they
Yep.
like to catch a lot of things.
It is really tough to get to the chains from where he's at.
Come on. You the stable one.
A little too straight.
Yeah, that pushed a little too far before it was trying to come back. There's a very subtle left turn to this. You want it to go straight and then finish left.
And Eric is in that dead zone.
Right. You want to be inside 25 or outside 50.
Yeah, he
Don't
doesn't
make yourself have to choose.
He doesn't have a choice there. He's definitely going to have to play that safe. Let's see what MJ can do. What is he throwing here? Is he throwing?
He's going with an Undertaker. He puts a nice little ante on it to start and gets the finish. Back to where Chris is, though.
So he's sitting exactly where Chris is. It's going to be tough for there to be any birdies on this hole. We'll see what you guys can get out of here. Just a solid layup. And Eric, just a solid layup. So,
yeah. Eric and I trying to play uncomplicated golf.
Sure. Yeah. I think Chris was finding out whether he was inside.
Yeah, and I think he ended up being just inside.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Valiant effort.
And an aggressive play.
Yeah, very. That if that continues on edge, it can roll another 45 feet.
Easily.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can be at circle's edge and have nothing to look at from the backside of the screen.
Yep. And MJ going for it, too. Wow. I think he almost got fortunate for where he is, for running it that hard.
Yeah, I think he might have been saved by those twin trees behind him.
Yeah.
But...
Well, very good. I mean, maybe he was looking at him saying, those will save me.
Probably less that, more knowing that he's a fantastic putter, and in order to play well, he's got to be reasonably aggressive.
Right. Yeah, how many times is MJ going to miss 2 30 or 40-foot putts back to back?
You don't expect it.
No. So, yeah, everybody is going to walk away with a par, which isn't a bad score, but you half expect at least one person to put the drive down there because it is one of the more open holes on the course.
You would think so. We got 2 looks at it, which is respectable.
So we'll move on to hole number 5, 308 feet, right in that kind of danger zone. Hole 5 is once again it's going to be one of those trickier holes.
Yeah, this is a long 308 because it's going to play mostly uphill, and then as you cross this little access road, it's going to go downhill to a very fast green.
This is, as a right-handed player, when you step up to this tee box, I always find myself confused on what to do.
Yeah, the consensus in our group was the best play is a thumber, followed by something with counterclockwise spin. So Chris is going with a flick.
Right. If you have the flick shot, then yes, a flick shot is a fantastic play here. The roller doesn't really work because of that crevasse that you're playing through in the middle of the hole there. I think that's going to stop most people from playing a roller. But, yeah, that looks like it's ideal.
I hit the left gap,
Right.
and it was moving fairly straight. That's about all I can ask for on this hole.
Absolutely. So now we'll see what Eric, who I've played a ton of golf with over the years, you have to throw something that's going to stand up, that's going to move to the right, and that's going to almost go down that right-hand side.
Right. Eric is a very smooth technical player, so he went Avenger SS for a hyzer flip there.
Sure.
Executed reasonably well.
Out in the open, I bet Eric's using that to roll, or you know what I mean? It's probably easy to lay down, but you put that disc on a hard hyzer like that, and you can control it pretty well. So
for sure. It's something that you don't have to pump to get it to flip over and glide.
Yep. All right. MJ being aggressive.
I don't think he was really running that so much as trying to get it there.
Yeah, I don't think he was running it either, but it definitely seemed he pumped it a little bit, a little hard.
Right. Chain high at this basket is just asking for a comeback putt.
I mean, you can see the dramatic decline there. And smart play by Chris. Gave it enough to go in, but it stayed right there. Wow.
Almost good enough to stick.
Yeah, that is, MJ's got to get that putt on track. Great putt.
I'm not sure I've ever gotten that in tournament play.
Yeah, that's such a good two. It really is. For a hole that's 308 feet, that is such a good two.
There's a lot of teeth to it.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Chris and Eric are going to take their threes, MJ with his 4,
Right.
and then on to the next one.
Yep. So once again, right at that kind of magic number, 297 feet is hole number 6. And once again, another hole that is, it's tight. Literally, you have to choose where you're going off the tee box, whether you're going to go right side, left side. Thumber is a play. I throw a straight putter.
Yeah, most of the MPO guys are going to take a slow mid or a putter and try to throw a turnover shot or a straight shot. You just have to commit to your line.
Yep. And most people will tell you that they're aiming for that tree dead center in the middle.
Yeah, I missed by a foot,
Yeah.
and I'm in the shul.
Yeah.
But it was inches from a perfect shot.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is the perfect tree. If you're going left side, that is the tree that you just want to miss, And Chris going back to his flick again, which is impressive.
Yeah, I think he's using one of the A series here.
Okay.
He has such a good complete woods game, and that flick makes a big part of that.
I don't think he's going to be happy with the result of that, though, because he's probably outside the circle from where he was.
Not by a whole lot. There's a downslope to this green, but it's not that tricky.
And yeah, Eric missing his line there, but left in the fairway, which is good. He wasn't in the woods.
Right, that's a good result for
Sure.
for missing his line like that.
All right, MJ, show us how to get down there. Oh, no. Double kick. Went to the right, but he should still be able to get up and down. I don't think that he's too far in.
We'll talk. Yeah.
Able to put something down there. Eric's going to have a tricky putt being back behind that tree. But MJ managed to get himself close enough. I do not expect him to miss another putt.
For sure. So you can really see with the angles we're having to throw here that this hole is impossible if you get off the fairway.
And what a fantastic putt.
Super solid downhill run.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I mean, look, the grounds crew here is an amazing group of guys, and they do a fantastic job at what they do. but they do not thin out the rough. You know, it's going to be rough. If you get inside, you're just not going to be easy to get out. But if you're on the fairways look fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's a woods course. So you've got to control where you land, how you get there, and if you get off, then you got to be creative.
That was a solid putt. Yeah, MJ's right here. So
that's more like it.
Yeah. So Eric's going to take the bogey here, and then we have Chris with the birdie with the long putt, which was a great putt. That's a good way for him to get going here, because when he gets going, he's hard to stop. You know, he can just put them together. So we'll move on to hole number 7.
So this one's just over 400 feet, and it's going to play like a par 4 and every bit of a par 4. You've got to get a shot that starts moving left to right off the tee, and look at these trees in the fairway. There's definitely gaps to hit, but if you're going to go for this, there's a luck element as well. It's kind of smart to play some kind of layup shot, not too aggressive.
Sure. I mean, if you're going to commit, you have to commit to this shot. And Chris playing a smart play, just a flick. He knows where his landing zone is. He knows he can get up and down from there too. So
yeah, he pushed it a little hard and high, but it's in the fairway. That's good enough for him.
I like this play. Oh, that sounded solid.
Oh, it was a square hit, and I had no idea that was there.
Yeah, it looks so good out of your hand. I thought it was perfect angle. Now, let's see what MJ can do here. Now, is he throwing a crank?
I want to say he's going ESP force here. He's trying to start something on Anheuser that can flex out, land flat, or a little bit hyzer.
Gotcha. And Eric with a good-looking line. Hopefully doesn't finish too far left, but it looks like he'll be in decent shape.
Yeah, if you're more than about 4 feet off this fairway, forget about your 3. Mm-hmm. Eric is in a spot where he can save a 3.
Yeah, just dead center into that.
Yeah, that was really the one to beat. I wasn't trying to 3 it. I was trying to have an uncomplicated 4.
Sure. And Chris going flick here, and he left himself a decent uphill putt. I mean, that's no gimme.
Yeah, he did right to probably take the backdoor route to the left side, but he didn't give it quite enough height or juice to get back. And this is kind of the same problem.
Yeah, almost the same distance as Chris is there. You did have a nice hyzer shot, though. I mean, that window is pretty good for being left side at all. You had a pretty decent window.
It was an opportunity.
Yeah. And then MJ going banger. And he knew it was good. He walks away from it. Yeah.
It's a pretty vicious result for hitting the lock, though.
Right, yeah. All right, and Eric with a fantastic shot.
He basically told me after that was either going to move up 4 feet or be under the basket with the window he had.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, good birdie. Yeah, you guys just outside of the circle, huh?
That one's actually going to be a par for me.
Okay, yeah. I apologize. Yep.
But a par is a lot better than a bogey. You don't want to get behind on this course. Take positive numbers.
Yeah, so we had MJ and Eric, actually, that did pull off the 3s. And then Chris and yourself both parred the hole. So right now, you and Chris happen to be tied at 13 under par, and MJ and Eric are tied at 11 under par. So it's a battle.
It definitely is. I don't think any of us are really thinking about score. This is just the second round of a 4-round tournament.
Yep.
But we all want to know that we're playing well. We're getting under par.
Yeah,
for the round.
everybody knows where they are at this point. Nobody knows where everybody else is because it, like you said, it is literally we're just into this thing. So there's a lot of golf left to be played. So this is an interesting hole too. This is straight at it. You definitely want to just throw something as straight as you can. MJ just over that branch.
That's the one you sort of fear in your head. It's not that in play because really for a right-hander you want to be finishing a little bit to the left side. That's the most open part of the green.
Yeah, and you kind of feel like you can skip it up there. So if you keep it low, that it will run up the fairway to the basket. That was awesome to go over it.
Yeah, so he went mid-range there. I think most players are going to go fairway, just because it's slightly uphill, and you don't want to have to be juicing a shot in these tight woods.
Yeah, and Chris going to his flick again.
I was interested to see that. Chris has a real solid backhand, and I'm not sure that the flick is the shape that makes the most sense for this.
Yeah, Chris has an amazing backhand. So, but when you're feeling your flick, I wouldn't know how it feels, but when you're feeling your flick, I guess that's where you have a lot of confidence. A lot of players are like that. Oh, and you hit the tree. Wow. Double kick there.
That was a very surprising result for where that disc started. It was a good shot, but not. We'll see in a minute. It shouldn't be under the basket.
Yeah, and then Eric having to try to get out there and didn't get very far, and now he's up to the basket. So
yeah, he's got a little jungle ball going on. I thought Chris had made that out of his hand. Such a nice touch flick.
So Eric still has some work for bogey. All right. Disappointing to be over par on this hole. I think that if you get your 3, typically you're kind of going, I got my 3. If it's anything more than that, yikes.
3's respectable, but if you ask any player who's played this course, what happens if you get off the fairway, they know.
Yeah, exactly. It does. It gets extremely difficult.
So that'll bring us to the last hole of the front 9.
Yeah, we've got hole number 9, and hole number 9 is the hole that you look at and you say, I have to get this birdie.
Everybody's thinking it, but it's such a mistake to get caught counting birdies before you've made them.
I could not agree more.
So this is 170 feet, a little bit uphill. All of us have played Tiki all week or all weekend, so we should have this dialed in.
Yep.
Flat, that one is just.
Michael with a great shot. Yeah, I do it every time I get on the T2. I have to shake it out and reset, but you definitely put it right up there. So good shot.
Chris going back to that PA4.
Yeah, that's about as pure as you can throw the shot without putting it in the chains.
The danger of being chain high when you get there, though, this basket yields 25-foot comeback putts with shocking regularity.
Yeah. Yeah, and Eric should be close enough to wrap up, but if Eric misses this putt, it can go back behind that trail, and then it's slightly uphill, and now all of a sudden everything's awkward. So it's... Yeah, going deep is not the best play on this basket for sure. And you guys are going to go ahead and just drop in your 2s.
Yeah, that's what you want on this hole. Just take your easy 2, move on to the back.
Yeah, and this is going to wrap up the front 9 of the dark side. One of my favorite courses to play, and it was exciting to watch you guys. We'll go ahead and get you guys some coverage of the back 9 here coming up. Certainly glad to have you, Fish, on board for commentary.
Yeah, I had fun. It's it's very interesting to watch how shots actually got there, and just to kind of relive the experience.
Sure, and we want to give a big shout out to Mike Trapasso and the Blockhouse folk for having us, hosting us, for being so just they're so gracious in every way. So thank you to Tea Time Disc Golf, to the guys out there filming, to everybody who was a part of the production.